What is good? What's good, people? Welcome back to my channel. Back like I never left for another stream. Yeah, thanks for coming back. I know this is a bit of a luxury for me, actually, or bonus. This is two streams in one day. I'm not really used to doing this, but hey ho, my schedule only permitted for this. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Early housekeeping duties. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. One sec. Yep. Sorry, I thought there was something on my thing. And make sure you keep your post notifications turned on as well, right? Yeah, all of that for me. Thank you and much appreciated. So yeah, let's actually talk about Spurs again. All things considered, I can't really be too angry at that result. I really can't. I was angry at the first half, I must say. I was angry at the first half for a couple of reasons, but I do think the second half we really rolled our sleeves up and finally got back into the game properly and made it a proper contest, man. And yeah, I would actually say we were probably on chances. I think we should have won that game. I'll be real. On chances, I think we should have won that game. Just about edged it on chances. But yeah, it is what it is. We needed a win. Not that I believe we're going to get top four, but if we're trying to get top four, we absolutely needed to win this game. So I'm a bit annoyed that considering how good we looked in the second half from an offensive standpoint, I'm a bit annoyed that we didn't go on to win the game. But as I said, from 2-0 down, I can't really come here and be um, critical of the actual result itself. So should have won it, man. Be real. We should have won it. We should have won it. United looked like they ran out of gas in the second half, but I also think that we upped the intensity in the second half and actually look look better. But honestly, yeah, we should really be winning those games. But I can't really, as I said, I can't really be too critical on the actual result itself, considering where we started from. But yeah, man, game of two halves for sure. Game of two halves for sure. Let me just go through some comments early doors. Ash says the Rashford goal was so cheap to give away, cost you the game, diabolical mate. Mate, from our own set pieces, I think it was from our own corner that they scored that. Sports Genius says United were awful in the second half. Is Ten Hag a fraud? I don't think Ten Hag is a fraud, but I just think that this United team, they're just not all that. Like, they're a good side, and I feel like they ran out of steam in the second half. But yeah, man, I don't think they're there yet. Do you get what I'm saying? There's still a clear gap in quality between them and the top two, for sure. Zasper says, yeah, we should have won. Saeed is even in the chat. He says, what does Saeed say? Should have won it in the second half. Are you talking about Spurs or are you talking about United? Because I'm talking about Spurs. Tanganga over Dyer, he's so shocking. Listen, Tanganga is poor himself, but Eric Dyer, listen, we'll speak on that guy, man. He's a shambles, man. LFC for the double says Mason at the wheel. Alan Baffer Smith says better going forward, just poor finishing and shit defense, especially Dyer. Yeah, I think that probably encapsulates today's game. Better going forward, poor finishing, shit defending. Shit defending. Poor. Hakuna Matata says Ryan Mason's decision to take off Son for Tanganga was confusing, unless I'm missing something. Yeah, I didn't really get this as well because it felt like we had enough to go on and win the game. I was debating this with one of my mates, and he basically said maybe it was just to conserve energy and just take the point because it felt like some of our players were dropping in terms of fitness levels after exerting so much energy to get back into the game. So Ryan Mason probably wanted to leave with 1 point, then potentially leave with zero, probably being burnt by what happened with Bournemouth in the last home game. But I still think we could have won that. But yeah, let's actually talk. Starting lineup. Starting lineup for me, I didn't. I was looking at the bench, and I guess he was hesitant to go over back four, having seen what happened with Newcastle last year. Although I think we had the personnel to go to a back four, and eventually in the game he went to a back four. He really did. I think it was it when we were 2-1 down still before Son scored. He went to a back four. He put Ben Davis on. One sec. Let me even check when Ben Davis came on. Let me check when Ben Davis came on. So Ben Davis came on minute 77, right? So he came on, and then just for us to switch to a back four, and then 2 minutes later we scored. I wouldn't have minded with Ryan Mason going with back four, but I felt like he would obviously have had to change the profile of the back four. Sorry, the fact that Ben Davies had to come off the bench for 13 minutes instead of start probably suggests that he wasn't ready to play a full 90 minutes. So I would hope to see that if he does show signs of being able to play 90 minutes, maybe we would go to a back four with Davies at left back instead of Perisic, Longley at centre back, Romero at centre back, and then have Pedro Porro as the offensive fullback. But it is what it is, man. If he played the back three, fair enough, man. Fair enough. It's all about how the team actually attacks the opposition. And I've got to say, you know what? He ain't good enough, but I'll give Ryan Mason credit as far as being an offensive threat was today, because I felt like that lineup, Kulusevski needed to be dropped, but I didn't understand why Danjuma didn't start. I didn't get it. But the team performance, I felt like we attacked way better today. Way better today. I felt like we were a much better offensive threat today than we have been for a long time. For a long time. But yeah, as I said, game of two halves, man. And this preview is not going to be long. Game of two halves. Let me just quickly go through this super chat as well. Big up Sharon. He says, United are playing their first choice left back and their third choice centre back as their centre back pairing. I'm surprised teams aren't beating them yet. Not many teams can field that CB pairing. Yeah, listen, when I was doing my preview today, at the end, I literally said this. I said, United, they're a wounded animal right now. They've played a lot of football. They're missing some key players, right? And some players like Bruno Fernandes today, I thought he'd be. I couldn't believe he was playing. I couldn't believe this guy was playing. But yeah, man, I looked at their away record against the top half Premier League sides, and I said, you know what? Like the Spurs, I predicted a loss in the Big Six, but Spurs could actually get something here today, man. They really could, considering this team played 120 minutes only like a 4 or 5 days ago, man. So there was something in this game for us, and I'm annoyed it wasn't 3 points, but I'm glad we took something out of it. But yeah, no, like game of two halves, and I mentioned Ryan Mason's influence on the attack, and I'll speak on that later because I do think he deserves some credit. I give this guy a lot of stick, so I'm going to give him some credit. But I want to talk on that first half because, my goodness, if you ever wanted to understand what it's like to watch Spurs and be a Spurs fan, just watch that first half, man. That first half was absolutely horrendous, man. Horrendous. Let me start off by saying this. The only positive I can give Spurs in that first half was that we carried a threat going forward throughout. I felt like Richarlison was getting a lot of space. I'll speak on him as well. My goodness. Getting a lot of space on the left-hand side. We had a couple of chances. Perisic had a lot of touches in Man United's box, right? We had opportunities where we could have squared it, easy cross, and we could have scored. I remember there was one early on in the game. Son on the right-hand side, he's played through by Pedro Porro. Kane and Richarlison are in the box waiting for the cross, and he can't even beat Dalot with the cross. And then literally from that interception, Man United got up the other end and they score. Oh my days, man. Oh my days. That first half was shocking. The only good thing we did was create chances. Even Perisic, he had a good chance. Harry Kane put him through clean 1v1 and he hits it straight straight at De Gea, straight at De Gea. And even another chance as well. I remember on the left hand side, Richarlison, he's in behind. He's in behind. He's bearing down on goal. He's on his right foot. He doesn't even shoot. He tries to go for the cross on his left foot and it's intercepted. You should just shoot, man. Just shoot. But yeah, the performance in general in the first half, I thought was pathetic, man. Honestly, I really did. I thought it encapsulated everything that's wrong with Spurs. And I think even if you look at the goal that Jadon Sancho scored was like a carbon copy of what Joelinton did at Newcastle, right? The ball gets shunted out to Sancho on the left-hand side. Pedro Porro, he can see Sancho, but he's too far to engage. And then I think it's Dalot or Ericsson that makes it. In fact, it was Ericsson that makes the overlap that takes away Porro's attention. So fine, cool. Pedro Porro's caught between a rock and a hard place, right? It then gets passed on to Romero, and Romero does the same nonsense he did last week. Puts his hand behind his back. Bro, go and engage. Go and engage. Don't let him shoot. It was a fantastic finish from Sancho, but my word, the defending, it was too easy for Man United. It's too easy. And don't get it twisted. I thought Man United were really good in the first half, but again, I feel like we made them look better than they were. It's the same thing I felt when I watched Man United against Nottingham Forest. Why are you giving this team all this space and time to do what they want to do? Ericsson, every single bit of time and space to look up Picky's pass. Same for Bruno. Same for Casemiro. Same for Sancho. Same for Anthony. The amount of space that was available in the first half was a joke. Our defending was so bad. So bad. So poor. Like, I didn't understand why we were giving Man United the freedom of our ground to play. I didn't get it. Jared says, did you go to the game? Nah, I didn't go to the game, bro. I left my seat empty, brother. Twins Ball Daily says, hi, Tobs. Big up from Thailand. Big up, bro. LFC fan here. Regular watcher of you on the Big Six. Kulu should have started, and the last 8 minutes or so, you guys stopped panicking them. Anyway, big up and welcome to This Is Anfield. I guess we'll talk about that game later on in the week. But yeah, no, I felt like once the Tanganga, we'll get onto the second half, but the first half was just bad, man. Off the ball was just everything you don't want to see. Yeah, everything you don't want to see. We exhibited it. Acres of space and time Man United had. Casemiro, acres of space and time to pick passes. When Man United were trying to play from goal kicks, not putting any pressure on them, putting no pressure on them to actually play out. Yeah, putting no pressure on Man United to play out. That first half was so comfortable for them, was so comfortable. Even with our chances we were created, it was too comfortable for them. Even their second goal as well. Their second goal, I think it's our goal. It's our corner kick. It's our corner kick or something like that. And Man United head it out, and the ball falls to Bruno. And again, the guy is in acres of space with nobody near him. I don't know what's going on sometimes with our defending, with our defensive structure. It's just bad. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. It was crazy. The two men in the midfield were just so poor in the first half. I was really disappointed with Højbjerg. Again, rubbish. And even Skip, I'll get onto Skip because he had a much better second half. But first half, poor, man. Poor on the ball, poor off the ball. Just poor. Bruno Fernandes got the freedom of the pitch to look up, take a touch, pick his pass to Rashford. And my goodness, Eric Dyer is a shambolic defender, man. I've spoken so many times on my post-match reactions about this guy's inability to engage in key moments. When he's not doing that auxiliary midfielder nonsense, when he comes out of defense to try and press the midfielder, he's bad at engaging. He's bad at engaging. Against Brighton, the same thing. Against Man United last season, I remember Ronaldo's goal. He can see Ronaldo. He can see Ronaldo bearing down on goal. He can see him. He's lining up his shot, and you're just watching. Like, I get it. Marcus Rashford is not an easy person to keep up with, right? But at some point, you have to get tighter. He kept giving Rashford the angle to shoot. At no point in that piece of play or that passage of play did Rashford have a tight angle to shoot. Get close. At least if you get close and he does you can say you've tried. Get close. I don't understand it. Anyway, people, smash the like button, man. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel whilst you're in here as well. Keep your post notifications turned on. But with that said, back on the game. I don't know what he's playing at. I don't get why this guy is such a bad defender. Just use your common sense. It was just bad defending. Of course, Rashford's going to slam it into the back of the net. Of course he is. Of course he is. Get tight. Not immediately as well. As you could see Rashford getting closer and closer to the box, surely his common sense should say, rah, I need to get as tight as possible to this guy and close off his angle for a shot. If he does me, he does me, fair. But at least I can say I've done my job. You've done your job defensively. But no. You still allowed him enough separation to get his shot off. It's so poor, man. And bang, we're 2-0 down. We're 2-0 down. And it's the same culprits again. Poor, man. Poor. And I'll tell you what, even before that as well, I think it was Perisic and Romero, fantastic. Perisic, Romero, and Porro, fantastic defending. Before that, they could have gone 2-0 up. I think it was, who was it that whose shot was cleared off the line? I think it was Sancho or Rashford, shot cleared off the line. Right? But just the first half, just poor, man. Just poor. So yeah, for me, the first half, as I said, really bad showing from a defensive standpoint. And offensively, we still carry the threat. But we have to do better defensively. We have to. We can't just give teams the initiative like that. We can't just give teams the space, the time to do as they like in and around us. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough, honestly. And the midfield was so poor. Even the attack, oh my days. Richarlison with yet another Hall of Shame. Like this might be his worst game in the Spurs shirt for me. And he's had a lot of stinkers. The guy is actually crap at the moment. He is crap at the moment for Spurs. Shocking. Like, I knew he didn't have technical quality, but like an abundance in technical quality. But I thought he had like an average base level. But what this guy is showing us, this is not the same Richarlison I watched at Everton. It can't be. Because this guy looks scary. This guy looks scary. Going to ground all the time. Flopping shots. Flopping crosses. Struggling in every single duel he's having. A net negative on the team. It's not good enough. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Such a bad performance today. Everything just loose. Like, when he gets the ball, he just never settled. You're just always stumbling. Just poor, man. Just poor. And it's not just him as well. Even Harry Kane. Harry Kane was pants in the first half. I'll be real. Second half, he came to life, as did Skip. But these men, they were pants in the first half. Son, anonymous in the first half. Bad. So bad. But Richarlison was awful. Højbjerg, awful. Dyer, awful. Perisic, awful. Awful. The only ones that came out with even any tiny bit of credit in the first half was probably Pedro Porro and Romero. Flipping hell, man. Like, Richie's given us, back on Richie, he's given us the chaos without the goals. You're giving us chaos without any end product. That's nothing. That's rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. He looks horrible, man. And I need to see a different player next year, right? I don't believe that this guy is a complete lost cause. I don't believe that this guy is suddenly a bad player, but he is playing like a bad player. And if he doesn't pattern up, bruv, he'll be out of here. And he'll be deemed one of the biggest flops in Premier League history if he doesn't turn this around. Horrible. You've got to do better, man. Like I already knew this season was a write-off. Like, he's already going down as a bona fide flop as far as this season's concerned. But my God, go out with some pride, man. Please. It's crazy. How many players need to come here and score before you do? Pedro Porro came here in January and he's got more Premier League goals than you. How is that possible? Danjuma came here in January and he's got more Premier League goals than you. How is that possible? It's not good enough, man. Not good enough. Honestly, it's not good enough at all. Let me just go through some super chats. Ash says, hate Romero, but he was top. Kane too. Romero was good today, I would say. He had a really poor start to the game, but I think overall he played well, especially in the second half. Kane, I wouldn't even say he was top today. I thought he was shocking in the first half, but second half he came to life. Second half he started picking passes, getting on the ball. Yeah, he came to life, man. He looked a little bit sloppy at the start of the second half. But yeah, towards the end of it, he really came to life. He really did. Anyway, yeah, let me go for the next super chat as well. Let me go for the next super chat. Yeah, man. Big up Emmanuel Morales as well. He says, Spurs gave our midfield way too much space in the first half, but you all gave it to us in the second half. Our away form is dreadful. It's almost unbelievable. And Erik ten Hag killed the game with those subs. Yeah, man. His subs were a bit meh. Bringing Fred on, I didn't really understand that. Fred came on and United just looked way more chaotic in possession. Malacia just I don't know what he came on to bring, honestly. I don't know what he came on to bring, right? Martial as well came on, did nothing. Did absolutely nothing. Not a damn thing. But anyway, second half, man. Second half, completely different Spurs. Completely different Spurs. So we still carried the offensive threat that we did in the first half, but second half, we finally were closing down Man United. Yeah. From De Gea's goal kick, when he'd lump it out, I'm pretty sure we won the ball in their half, in Man United's half, a lot more in the second half than we did in the first. Even our second goal was as a result of them playing a goal kick and us winning the ball high up. The ball gets headed back to Harry Kane, and then he finds a cross to Son. Second half, we actually got right in front of Man United's faces, which is what we needed to do in the first half. Yeah. Skip was getting touch tight, winning his duels. Made a real good challenge in our box. I remember Rashford was squaring up, and he took the ball off Rashford and distributed it. I can't even remember who to. But second half was much better. Much better. Don't know why we didn't play like that in the first half. Much better, right? The team were way more compact when we were out of possession, right? And we were defending better, defending much better. But I will say this: Longley was an absolute stripper for that Bruno Fernandes chance. I can't believe Bruno Fernandes missed that. Yeah. First of all, too much space and time for Bruno at the edge of our area. And then Longley, stay on your feet, bro. Stay on your feet. Stay on your feet. Lucky that Bruno hit the crossbar. Lucky. But anyway, second half, much better performance, man. The chances were coming as well. The chances were coming. Big chances too. Big chances, bro. Right? Even in the lead up to the first goal, the cross from Perisic, fantastic cross. Richarlison, you've got to bust your gut to put that ball in the back of the net. But no, Richarlison falls down and fakes injury and wants the penalty. Brother, get up on your feet and put the ball in the back of the net. But I've got to say, fantastic finish from Pedro Porro. Listen, the guy can't defend for toffee right now. But I'll tell you this, he doesn't stop trying when it comes to attacking. He doesn't stop trying. Yeah. And it's no coincidence that he's got 2 goals, because it's clear to see that he is at his best when he's in the opposition's half, not in our half. He's at his best when he's in the opposition's half. Right? Don't know what Mason said to them in the first half, but fair play to him, because we saw a completely different Spurs side in the second half. But I feel like this is deja vu. We've seen this throughout the season. Crap first half, and then Spurs get a pep talk, and then bang, they come out different in the second half. Yeah. And then I remember, I think, who was it? Son. Oh my days. Harry Kane. Fantastic cross. Fantastic cross. Honestly, fantastic cross. He had all the time in the world to take a touch if he wanted to and then slam it. But he chose to take it first time, and he literally just brushed it wide. I couldn't believe Son missed that. Criminal miss. Criminal miss. Right? I think even in the first half as well, I think it was Dyer who had a header that De Gea saved. And then Dyer again in the second half. I don't even know how he missed that chance. It was harder to miss. I can't remember who it was that put the cross in the box. I think it might have been Perisic. It might have been Perisic, but easy cross. The easiest header. It was harder to miss. It was harder to miss, and he missed it. When he missed that chance, I said, please, just take this guy off. Take him off right now. Take him off right now. Oh, it was Richarlison that crossed it. It was Richarlison that crossed it. But crazy miss. Absolutely crazy miss. I couldn't believe that. Couldn't believe that miss. If he scores that, that's 2-2, and we probably go on to win the game. Mental. George here says he's good at, so I'm sure this is on Porro. He's good at attacking, but no chance you get away with him being at right back next season. Yeah, he's clearly not a right back. I think he's a right wing back, or he's an extremely offensive right back. But we're going to have to compensate for him. I feel like in the games where we want to be defensive, we're going to have to play someone like Emerson, because we can't play Pedro Porro in those games. But in games where we want to attack, we're going to have to play him, and we're going to have to compensate for what he doesn't offer us defensively. We're going to have to. And we wouldn't be the only side to do this. Liverpool did it for years with Trent. Man City do it with Cancelo. Man City did it with Cancelo. Bayern Munich do it with Alphonso Davies. PSG have Nuno Mendes and Hakimi. Do you get what I'm saying? Arsenal have Zinchenko, right? The very best teams, they always have extremely offensive fullbacks nowadays. It doesn't excuse Porro's defending, because I think his defending is awful, but it just means that now that we've signed him, if this is a guy that clearly looks like he can't defend, we need to circumvent that, and we need to create a system where we can protect his frailties and not limit our productivity as a side. So it was Perisic that crossed it for the Dyer header. Perisic's crossing was so hit and miss today. Like, he put in some good crosses, but he put in some really bad crosses as well. I don't know. Very hit and miss. Very hit and miss. But anyway, yeah, we had the chances, man. And as I said, Ryan Mason, listen, don't think this guy's anywhere near good enough to be the Spurs manager, but I'll give credit where it's due. Spurs were a much better offensive threat today, and credit to him for making the change, a change that we saw Conte make, a change that we saw Stellini make, but fair enough, I'll give him credit. Made a change to a back four. Ben Davies came on, Danjuma came on, and 2 minutes later we scored. So fair play. I think on the balance of play, we deserved that goal, and I don't know why we just stopped attacking, because I felt like after we scored that goal, we looked the team more like most likely to win the game. We did. We really did. One sec. Sorry, I'm just getting... So, wow. Tottenham produced their highest XG since October 12th, 15th tonight. Positive start by Ryan Mason. Yep. Like clockwork, the prop is going to reach overdrive. But fair play to Ryan Mason. As I said, I think offensively today, Spurs were good. Spurs carried a threat all game. And that's how it should be. Even though our defense sucked, that's how it should be because we actually have a good mix of attackers. We really do. We have, put it simply, our attack is too good to be going through games where we're getting like 0.5 XG. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Sid says, thoughts on the Davies sub for Perisic? Thought Perisic was, I think he was causing danger with his crossing, but as a dribbling threat, I don't think he caused Aaron Wan-Bissaka a lot of problems. I think it was his crossing that was good. Yeah, you're right. But I felt like Ben Davies coming on for Perisic was a sacrifice for us bringing in another attacker. So I can't really be too angry at that. Because in the end of the day, whilst Ben Davies came on for Perisic, we also brought another attacker, which meant we could get a greater foothold in the game and put more men forward. Kulusevski came on and looked bright for the first 3 minutes, but then just was so poor, just flopping a lot of things, man. He really did. But I'm not really going to kill a man for that. I think it's clear what I think of Kulusevski in the second half of the season. It's not been good enough. But listen, I felt like second half, we were definitely good value for a point and probably should have gone on to win the game. Big up our man for the super chat. He says United should have buried you first half and Bruno chance. Yeah, United should have taken it. Listen, we had chances as well. For that Bruno chance, I can talk about Perisic when he was bearing down on goal. Swings and roundabouts, brother. Big up Emmanuel for the super chat as well. He says Pedro Porro is a solid player from what I've seen. His time has been mixed. I'm not going to lie to you, right? Today's performance was much better, but he still looks poor defensively. He just doesn't look like he can defend. He was rubbish against Bournemouth, the worst player on the pitch in that loss. He was rubbish against Newcastle, right? I can't remember who he played before that. Brighton, don't think he was that good from what I watched. So yeah, it's been mixed, man. I feel like he's not had many good performances, but I do think he's at the very least shown what he's good at and what he's not good at. This chat is interesting as well. Fraser Forster has been a very good backup goalkeeper. Agreed. I'm not going to lie. I feared the worst. I saw this guy at Brentford and I said, he ain't it. And I saw him at Leicester and thought, he ain't it. But bro, ever since I've seen him in the Spurs shirt, he's impressed me. He's actually impressed me. And I remember when I was in Kenya and I saw the lineups for Everton, I was out and I saw the lineup for Everton. I was just angry. I just said, why? Why is Lloris back in the team? I love Hugo, but it's clear to see that he's dusted right now. And Fraser Forster, unfortunately for Hugo, gives Spurs a lot more confidence. Simple. Richarlison is concerning. Absolutely, bro. I've already spoken on Richarlison. It's looking scary, man. It's looking absolutely scary. He needs to pattern up, man, because this is crazy. This is crazy. Very crazy. Anyway, I felt the Tanganga sub killed our momentum. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it did. I think it was Son that went off for Tanganga. I feel like that just sort of deflated the bubble. But I really wanted Spurs to go on and win that game, and I felt like we could have. I would have liked to see Mason keep on Son. I don't really see why you needed to do that. If you're worried about players getting tired legs, take off one of the midfielders. Bring on Sarr or something. Don't take off an attacker when we look likely to score. But as I said, I can't complain. I can't complain about drawing when we were 2-0 down. I really can't. I just wish we would have played better in the first half. I really do. But yeah, that sub from Mason Tanganga sub, poor. I think it killed momentum. But yeah, second half, like I said, I think Harry Kane, much better performance in the second half. Skip, much better performance in the second half. Højbjerg, God, he's just so erratic. did some good things, but did some horrible things. There was a period or passage of play where he just booted the ball in the air and then just miscontrolled it when it came down. The guy is just awful, man. Just get rid, please. Just get rid. Dyer, get rid. Longley, don't sign him permanently, even though he wasn't that bad today. Yeah, Ryan Mason, fair enough. Okay. Showed me some small things today. Big up to him. Fair. I'll give credit where it's due. Let's see what you got against Liverpool, because I've seen nothing today to convince me that this team are going to go to Anfield and get even a draw. I think we're going to get smoked at Anfield. I've seen nothing today that convinces me that we will even go to Aston Villa and win. But I've seen enough today to convince me that we can beat Palace at home and we can probably beat Brentford at home. If we attack the way we did today, we can beat these sides. But I'm worried about what happens if we defend the way we did today. Let's see. But Liverpool, I'm expecting an L. That's an L. But well done, Mason. Not a bad first game in your second stint. So yeah. People, that is it from me. I'm tired. I want to watch match of the day. I want to drink some water. But please enjoy your evenings. Don't forget, I'm going to be on the THFC show tomorrow on Fuad's channel. That should be on at 3 o'clock. Look out for that. Yeah, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Yeah, get Enoch out. I'm glad that we heard the chants today. I think we heard it 3, 4, maybe even 5 times. The Enoch out chant's good. I saw that there was the protest at 5:30. Obviously, it wasn't as big a turnout as I hoped, but at least the disdain towards Enoch is growing. And that's a good thing, because I feel like eventually we'll get it right. We'll get it right and we'll find a united front to show our displeasure at Enoch. Even the game today, I don't know. I couldn't really tell whether there were many empty seats or not. So I'm probably going to need to ask my mate to at the game. But we just need to try and make it unpleasant for Enoch and find ways to show our displeasure at the way in which they're running the club. So yeah, people, that's it from me. I'm out. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn your post notifications on. Take care. Peace out. And Enoch out.